the dead is a miracle, doc. They counted me out. Moment of truth, counting it down. Underdog story was down for the count. Back on my feet, back with a mic, back on the beat, back with a family, then back in the streets. The game on lock, I stand with a key. Standing my ground, I am counting the fleet. Standing my ground, I am counting my feet. Taking a stand, embracing my destiny, shaking his hand, flipping the script.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Thursday Night CrossFit Talk on Clydesdale Media. My name is Scott Schweitzer. I'm the Clydesdale. She is Jamie Latimer, athlete, superstar, Battle of the Ages star on YouTube now. All that stuff. What is going on? How are you?
I'm good. Megan, listening while you work out. Awesome. Love to hear it. Hope you get a good sweat on. Yeah, I'm good. It's been a good week. Good week of training. Things feel good. I feel like volume was down a little bit, so I'm not as like achy as normal. Yeah, it's been going good. Good week for me. How about you?
Lots of stuff going on this week. But you know who I should reach out to is Holly.
Yes, I actually was thinking about her yesterday.
We got the Open coming up. We're gonna have some matchups. We're gonna have some stuff. Be really cool if she could put together some cool little graphics for us on the Open. Just talking out loud in case you might hear through the
Speak of the
universe. Nick the man. Wad Zombie. So Nick, can I tell you how great Nick is?
Yes.
Let's bring in our special co-host tonight, Hailey Rolfe. Bam, there she is.
Ooh.
Hey.
Hey, how are you doing?
We're good. How are you?
Good.
Good to finally meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
So we're live on the air.
Cool.
Yes, we are.
So I need to finish the story and then we're going to jump into you.
Okay,
But,
perfect.
So Nick Wad Zombie reached out to me and said, "Hey, are you sleeping well?" And I wasn't until last night. And so he's like, "I got a gift for you." And he is sending me a sleep apnea machine for me to try out to see if it'll help me sleep.
That's awesome.
Like, it's so many videos teaching me how to use it, all the stuff. Like there's no better dude in the CrossFit space than Wad Zombie.
Agreed. I didn't need more proof that he's awesome, but that is awesome. Glad to hear it.
So quick health update is, I don't know a lot from like the round table. I did call the cardiologist today. I'm still in AFib. We are looking to get out of AFib. And the nurse said I should know by tomorrow morning when the next step is. It's probably going to be early next week that they are going to shock my heart to try to get it back into rhythm. And then once that happens, we should know more. But they want me to know this information before I get to my family doctor at 1:00 tomorrow. So hopefully that's a guarantee that I will know it before going to my family doctor at 1:00. So
Fingers crossed.
But if that's the case, I will get the reconversion. What a weird term for this.
Yeah.
Into hopefully back into a regular rhythm and back to 100% back to my goals. So with that, we welcome in 3-time CrossFit Teen Games competitor, Hailey Rolfe, who is the new star of a new show on our channel, Versus for the Ages or something like that. I think it's a working title we're kind of coming up with. So cool to have you with us. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Good as can be expected.
I didn't see you today, so
No, I
how
know.
did today? What'd you do today?
I went to class and did homework all day, so nothing super exciting, but had to get it done. We have spring break starts tomorrow, so I'm just trying to get everything done so I can go home after we train.
Yes.
What's it like
You
being
got to walk around campus at least.
Yeah, no, at least a 40-minute walk.
That's zone 2. That's perfect.
Exactly.
Scott wants to know what it's like being a freshman.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that. It's good. It's definitely different. Like, it's a whole new world. I feel like I'm used to my little bubble because I came from a school with like 96 like people in my graduating class. So now walking past like so many strangers, it's like, whoa, you know, like I'm just in a little bubble in all these people's lives. But I like it. It's super fun. It's super fun to be around like a bunch of teenagers and like class, you know, nothing great, but got to get through it. So overall, good.
Do you have a major yet?
That we're in the works. So I'm thinking something like medical field, maybe like a chiropractor. I change my mind every week. So like it's an ongoing just thought.
I think I broke the record for majors in college. So
really?
Yeah, I was all over the map.
Good for you.
It took 15 years to graduate. Please don't do that.
I'll try.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, I can't afford to do that.
Yeah. So the reason we have you on here is you are actually going to go team this season with Miss Latimer.
Mm-hmm.
And Azariah Price, who his mom runs the teen piece of our channel. So that's really cool. And I don't know your fourth. I've met him, I think, but I just I don't know his name. Tony? Is that right? Jeff.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's up with this team? You made a post not that long ago about when you finished the teen division, you were done with CrossFit.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden you go to MSU and you meet Jamie and now you're on a team.
Yeah. So I finished the games 2023 and all summer, like it was such a balance between like hanging out with friends, doing all the senior stuff, but also like training to be like super competitive at the games. So it's like a balance I've had all through high school and a ton of like, it felt like a lot of responsibilities. And I was always racing around and it was my only like identity. It felt like I go to class and I was always a CrossFit girl or I was the rip girl. I walked down the halls and it was like, how much you bench? And that stuff was like cool, but then it also got tiring. So like coming into college, I was like, I just kind of want a like clean slate and to not have to worry about that stuff. And honestly, like right away, I got the like nickname in our dorm of Muscle Mommy. So like that lasted long. But also like, I just wanted to live a normal freshman college, like do what I want, have no responsibilities. And I ran and like still fitness, but it just wasn't consistent. And I realized how boring it gets. So quickly it was like, okay, I came back from like winter break and was hanging out with my mom. And I was like, dude, I just like really miss CrossFit. Like, you know, like I just want to get back in the gym, have the fun environment. And it's always like a community. It doesn't matter what gym you step into. I feel like you always run yourself into community. And so like I was looking around in the area. I think I dropped into East Lansing CrossFit twice, and then dropped into Redemption. And like the first class I was at Redemption, I was like, okay, this is the gym I want to be at, just because it had such a fun vibe. And met Jamie right away. And then it was like the first Saturday I could make it to, I went and I got partnered up with Jamie because I don't know, we just got partnered up together. And then she looks at me like 5 seconds before we start this workout, she's like, do you want to go team this year? And I'm like, sure. And then we just start working out. So right after I was like, I don't even know if this is a thing until like the next time I came in and trained with her, but it was really funny.
So when you made that statement in your head, were you done for good or just until you kind of like got through some of college?
I really didn't know. I made that statement as I don't want to be a competitive like CrossFit athlete anymore. I'll still come in and do an hour class, but I didn't want that to like consume me. I didn't want to have to watch what I eat, go to bed at a certain time, stretch. Like all that stuff gets consuming after a while if you let it. And I was at the point where I let it get consuming. So like I just wanted a clean break. And then it didn't surprise anyone that I was back, but I just needed that for myself to like make the decision to be back.
How long did it take you to get back into working out and feeling like yourself again? Or are you still in that process?
I feel pretty much back to myself. Like, sure, there's things that aren't at full capacity like they were when I was training in August, but like that happens every year. I feel like with an off season. But like over Christmas break was when I kind of started just doing classes again, and I was like slowly feeling like myself. And then once I like committed and like training with Jamie and Jim, it's like, oh, it's back. You know, like it's so fun to just go throw down and enjoy being around people that enjoy the same thing you do. You know.
I have to say something. This is the angle your phone is at.
Is it
You look like Kaylee Cuoco.
Oh
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
What's that? Is that something? I don't know who that is.
So, have you ever seen Big Bang Theory?
No.
Okay. When we're done, Google her. You look just like her at this angle.
Okay. Awesome. I hope that's a compliment.
It is. She's very pretty.
I think you'll be happy with the
Yes. Hailey is stunning in person. I don't think you really look like Hailey Cuoco, but I can see it from this angle. I like if you saw her in the gym, I don't know that you would say that.
I've seen other pictures of her. I've seen other pictures of her, not like Kaylee Cuoco. Very attractive, but this angle is like a spitting image.
Yes, it does. You do. That's funny.
So back on topic. You know, we've talked a lot about like Mal and Hailey and having to take a step back.
Yeah.
Do you understand where they're coming from, coming out of the division as competitive as you were?
They were way better than me coming out of the division, but I do 100% understand where they're at because they jumped right into it all over again. And like, I just think there's something too about like, I started tracking my macros when I was 14. Like when I think about food, I think of like specific nutrients. And I think like Haley Adams has talked openly about her eating disorder. And I think you could see that as just such a young teenager putting that much emphasis on it. So like, I think like I can totally see where they're at, where it gets super consuming. And it's like, and they had a ton of pressure too. So I 100% see their angle.
Do you feel you missed anything in high school?
You know, it's funny because I would say yes and no. I feel like I always wanted to be a part of the party scene and just hang out, be a normal teenager. And my 2022 season, I totally like cut myself out of it as a junior. And I think that really I really struggled with that because it took the fun of my life out of it. So then I honestly watched my fitness get worse. Like I just didn't have as much like emphasis and like priority on it. So I think like my 2023 season, I just implemented. I tell people this, I live two separate lives. Like I would go to the gym and I'd do 4 hours of fitness and then I'd turn it off. I'd go do student section games, go hang out with my friends, eat Mexican after, like do all the like teenager things. And I think that just like made my season so much better. And it just like, yeah, it was a lot better. So I think in a sense, I'd say at times I felt like I missed out, but like looking back on it, I got to do everything I wanted to do.
That's great. Because I think you only have one shot at being a kid.
Exactly. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we talked about a little and you like about the games and the other teens there and stuff and how a majority of them are homeschooled and you weren't. And we know that like Emma Lawson wasn't either. And a lot of people, when they talk about the teens, like Emma Lawson seems to have a pretty good head on her shoulders still experienced teen life and school activities life. And you got that and you seem to be happy with the way your career progressed.
Totally. Like I played volleyball and softball throughout high school. And honestly, as I got fitter, you could just watch the like athletic performance go with it. But like I was a total normal person. I took off basketball season because that was like open in all the qualifiers. And like the coaches would get annoyed with me, but at the end of the day, that's whatever. So yeah, I'd say 100%. I recommend everyone to play sports and go to like school. I think that's super important.
So you did play other sports.
Yeah.
Right in that Rich Froning camp.
Exactly.
I loved it. It was fun.
Yeah.
It's team sports and you never like we have like CrossFit team, but you're never gonna get that stuff back unless you go collegiate. So it was one of those things just like taking an opportunity when I can get it, kind of thing.
So big in the news this week was that the Pitt Fitness Ranch, it has developed a mentor program between elite individual athletes and all the qualifiers for the CrossFit Games in the teen division this year. What do you think? What do you think about that as a concept?
Okay, so I honestly saw it, but I don't totally understand it. So they're mentoring each workout?
No, it's a 6-week mentorship program, 6 or 12 week. Can't remember. Yeah,
Okay.
we don't have to talk about specifics in their program because I think there are, and Stephanie's probably going to hit me for this, but I think there are a few flaws in their program. But I like the concept of having an elite athlete be a mentor in like how to balance life. Like is Pat Vellner being a mentor who is someone who has signed up to be one? You know, he has a chiropractic practice. He has a family. He has a son, like all that stuff. What do you think of it as a concept? If you had someone to reach out to and just talk to when you're going through things.
I think it's really cool. I think if I was in their shoes, like 14, 15-year-old me would be terrified. But I think it's a really cool concept. I think Steph does a lot for the teenage community. I also think like this is just I did TFX my first ever competition, and in the bathroom my mom was like talking to Danielle Brandon, and Danielle Brandon was like, don't ever give up high school sports. And I honestly think that was a comment to me that I took to heart and was like, you know what, that's a really good point, and that's from someone who is really elite at our sport. So I think having those voices to be like, you're right where you should be, or like you have a lot of time, or just even like offering the hand.
Oh no.
Am I back? There we go. Paige Powers was a teenage athlete. That's a perfect person, you know? So I think it's awesome. I think Steph's doing a good job with that.
Yeah, I think it's a great concept that would be great in the off season, right? When everybody has time to kind of talk. And right now it's kind of scheduled June to mid-August, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think their concept is, hey, let's mentor these kids as they're getting to the games from games athletes in what they can expect. I think it's more important as a mentor about life and not just the games. And that can happen in the off season.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with what you're saying too. So it's purely just like how games training is supposed to go. Is that kind of the avenue they're taking it?
It's written like almost coaching, which I can't imagine it being. But I think what the idea, just from talking to Steph in the past, is that to let the teens know what it's going to be like to be at this big event at the end of the year and what you can expect and those types of things. But it wasn't written up very well.
Yeah, I feel like honestly, overall, me and Jamie talked about this a lot. This Masters and teenage season is a very much figure things out growth year, because I think everything's super new. And so you're just going to see how it folds out and see how those avenues work and go from there. I feel like it's a learning year.
Yeah, I'm really worried.
I think we'll see what happens.
I actually have confidence that the teens will go off without a hitch. That crew has been doing this for years, and nothing really changes for them. For the master side, it's like meeting the expectations of the masters, who it's just gonna be a difficult road.
I agree. Because those are also all the people that are coming out of the individuals, so they have all of those expectations.
Yeah. And just as simple as the kit of the uniform. Like, I think that's if that doesn't hit, you're gonna have problems. And gosh,
I'll tell you, that last semifinals workout, I was always thinking about the clothes. It was just like, this is for the clothes, you know?
So you've been 3 times. What's
Yep.
what's your favorite part of the kit?
Oh, everything. It's like you do a whole fashion show, you know, and you try everything on. It's amazing. It's Christmas.
Yeah. Did you do the pick with all the stuff or?
Oh yeah, every year.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So Jamie has in here in the notes, teams getting a full games kit. Do we want to talk about that or no?
I don't know for certain yet, but I mean, it seems to be maybe the case that teams may have teens may have GoRuck as their sponsor.
Yeah,
Which would mean they would-
honestly, I feel like all that stuff still is waiting to be announced. I have no idea.
Yeah. If they get it, great for the kids.
Yeah.
Do I want Masters to get it too? Yes. But the more people that get it, the better.
I think personally, like I know Masters have a lot more people, but I think if you're going to give it to one side, you have to give it to the other. That's just my thoughts on it.
I wish that was the case. Yeah. It's going to be Masters is just starting off on the wrong foot because we didn't even know where it was at. So like, it's hard to get a sponsor when you don't even know the location.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? Like it's just going to be, they're behind the 8 ball to begin with and now have to do all this stuff to catch up. And well, we're going to move into the news of the week, Hailey, and we'd love to have you stay if you want to talk about it. If you have to study, we understand that too.
I actually, I have laundry in the dryer, and if I don't go get it, I think someone's going to take it. So I might have to give out on this one.
Been there, done that. But thank you so much for jumping on and giving your
thank
perspective.
you for having me.
Have a great rest of your night.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See, she can leave. Why can't you leave?
Me?
Yeah.
It's easy. Yeah, because I started the show, so I feel like if I leave, it'll shut the whole show down.
Okay.
I do see Leaf Studio now.
So we skipped a couple things at the top. I was watching barbell spin last night, and the thing I got out of their blind leaderboard was which was better, Friday Night Lights, the TV show, or Friday Night Lights, the movie?
Oh, I have not watched the TV show.
What?
I know.
What?
So that's what I need to watch. What next? Is that what you're telling me? I loved the movie, so I mean,
one of the greatest TV shows ever.
Okay.
So that's my answer.
Okay.
TV show.
There's no way it's one of the. Ken, no, she is not related to Emily.
No, Kyle's from the UK and Hailey's from Michigan.
Yeah.
Maybe way back.
Possibly somewhere.
But,
all right, fine. I'll have to binge the TV show.
Like, you'll know if you like it as well in the first season.
Okay.
Like, watch the first couple episodes. If you're sucked in, you'll be sucked in. If not, then it's not for you.
Fair enough. So, but your choice is the TV show over
TV show for sure.
Okay. The movie is great. So
just like LDY 2742.
Okay. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I thought the kids were great actors. It's where Michael B. Jordan got his start. It's where now he doesn't come in until season 4-ish, maybe.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. It's great acting from all perspectives. Yeah, Tim Riggins is he's one of the main characters, and he's a mess at the beginning of this thing. So following him like through the show is very, very electric to me.
Is Tim Riggins the character's name?
Character. Yeah,
Who plays him?
Tyler Kitsch.
Okay.
He's been in a bunch of flops.
Okay.
He was in Lone Survivor as Michael Murphy.
Okay.
So he played Murph.
Mm-hmm.
It's Taylor Kitsch. Taylor Kitsch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Megan didn't like the movie or the TV show.
Yeah.
I liked the movie, so.
I liked the movie. I thought it was very good. The TV show went above and beyond for me. So there. That's my feelings.
Yeah. All right. I'll check it out.
You said any new shows? Is that any binging?
Yeah, no, I haven't started anything new. I wondered if you did while you're still at home, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but I can't stay awake for more than an hour watching TV these days. So
more Legos, less TV.
More Legos, less TV. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of YouTube, a lot of and like Megan said, I'm still watching Friends. That's my when I'm having trouble breathing, like I put Friends on to relax me.
Mm-hmm.
Because it gets my mind off of hearing my breath and I've seen the episode so many times that I don't even need to.
I did The Bad Batch for Star Wars fans. What's that?
I think it's a new show on Disney.
Okay.
Andrew can correct me if I'm wrong. But I wasn't a Star Wars guy growing up. Like I was an Indiana Jones guy. That was we had a theater. Grew up in a very small town. We had a theater that just had one screen and it had a double feature.
Okay.
And so the same movie might be there for like a year. But the second feature would flip. So if you wanted to see the other movie, so I saw like Raiders of the Lost Ark 12 times at the theater. And that just became my jam.
I did see an update that Reacher is already in like post-production, so it should come out before the end of the year.
I saw that as well. I saw him on Jimmy Fallon.
Okay.
Talking about him busting the car burglar and going into Reacher mode.
Oh.
Him and his wife were out on a date, and they saw somebody with their legs hanging out of a car window. And his wife's like, "What's that guy doing?" And he goes, "Oh my gosh, I think he's stealing from that car." And his wife goes, "You're not going to do." And he goes, "But I got to, like, he's robbing them." And so he runs the guy down and I guess throws him into a wall and
oh my gosh,
gets on top of him until authorities get there.
Holy cow.
But he chased him down for like a few blocks before that.
I mean, he's lucky he wasn't like they had a gun or a knife, and like that's risky.
Yeah. So Patrick Clark asks, which movie was better, Friday Night Lights or Varsity Blues?
Man, that's a tough one.
I mean, for strength of a movie in it, like on its face, Friday Night Lights was a better movie. Varsity Blues was really entertaining.
Yeah.
And if I don't want to like the serious take on it, like Varsity Blues is a much more relaxing watch. And and the football playing is better in front of Night Lights. Like James Vanderbeek
Agreed.
did not look like a quarterback in
Agreed.
Blues.
Yeah.
So
I might give the nod to Friday Night Lights.
So Friday Night Lights was more authentic. Varsity Blues is probably more entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right, we're gonna move into open announcement talk.
Sure.
All right. Well, I know it's been debated on some other shows. I haven't caught them. And I like Jeffrey Birchfield's brought it up in some chats. A lot of us have been discussing like Shred Shed gets week 2, Proven now gets week 3. And I know Proven's an affiliate, so that's maybe a different story, but I'm not even aware if they're fully open to the public yet. Maybe this is like a grand opening type thing, and that's cool, I guess. But the Shred Shed getting week 2, I feel like, and this goes along with like everything that I have to talk about with open announcements, with the people participating, locations. I just feel like we are missing the community aspect, which is supposed to be what we're pushing right now, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I think I'm even with you on the Proven a bit, because I know like Amy's friends. So Amy, co-host from the Roundtable, they went to Nashville. They did drop in at Proven, so you can drop in. It is an affiliate, but it's not like it's just opening.
Right.
And like include some people who've just earned it. Maybe that's what I feel like. There's affiliates out there that have earned the opportunity to host an event. Who've been around.
Right. So this is another point that I wanted to make. Like maybe the open needs to matter in some fashion. Like I really enjoyed when Annie's team went against the other team that was hosting it. And so you got like a perspective of like just a general public. I mean, they were good too, don't get me wrong, but they were not a games team per se. So you got like this regular athletes versus games athletes. But like, why not maybe say like the top 3 registrations are going to get the open announcement, or top 3, and I don't know, it could be budget wise. So maybe you say top 3 US or whatever caveat you need to make on it.
Yeah, there'd have to be a lot of caveats because of logistics, space, can it host? But like, this isn't new. So yeah, I think it's wrong, but like I went to 2022, and that was a Rogue.
Yeah.
Rogue's an affiliate, but it is not open to the public. But it is like saying thank you to your partners.
Right.
Like, so I get it from a business sense, but it doesn't jive with the community talk. Like you said.
Patrick, I would be surprised if they're charging, and I don't know, maybe there is some kind of fee exchange, but like if I got to be a host gym, I would not. That's bringing so much attention to my gym that like I can't even imagine being, or any of my members being mad and be like, we need money back for these 2 days that you're shut down for this. Like, that's crazy. If anything, it's just railing everyone in the community around. Like, I can't imagine it's a cost thing.
So I will say this: when it was at Rogue, like CrossFit Polaris got tickets to hand out to their members, and then the first so many got the tickets. That's how I got my ticket. I didn't get it through like a media thing or anything like that. I got it through CrossFit Polaris because CrossFit handed out tickets to affiliates around Columbus to bring their people down to watch the open announcement.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that's going to happen at the shred shed.
There's no way. It's his house. Like, there's going to be 20 people there. I think you're missing the entire point of the open announcement.
Proven you could hand out tickets to Nashville affiliates to come in.
Sure.
Right. And then I'm okay with it. Right. You're getting a lot of people involved. You know?
Yeah, but okay. But this still goes back to, one of my bigger points is you have chosen, we now know point 3 is Tia and Arielle. So now we have basically your like top 3 finishers over the last couple years. That's who is getting to compete. And Colton. Like, why are we constantly, we already know that Tia gets 90% of the coverage when it gets to semis in the games. And so does Jeff, and so does, or whoever. I mean, I guess Jeff doesn't get a ton of airtime. But you already highlight Justin and these athletes who are your top 5 in the world throughout the whole season. Like, is that who we continually need to put the spotlight on? Is that the only people that can rally people to watch these? I can't imagine it is. Like, maybe you get 1 or 2 of them for one of the announcements, but there's other people that you could bring in to like hype up all these divisions. Why is a teen or a master or an adaptive not at any of these announcements?
That part I don't understand. And if they're not going to do it, then why isn't Legends doing like a Friday Night Lights, or the Pit doing a Friday Night Lights where you're highlighting your teens or your masters? Because let's be honest. CrossFit's a business. Patrick's saying it a ton in the comments. They are down on money. They need to hype this up as much as possible, right? You need to get viewers on these open announcements. So you need to have the best of the best from a business perspective. Does that get me pumped up? No. But does it get the general population of the CrossFit world pumped up? Probably.
Does it though? I'm not lying. Like, when I got to see those open announcements that featured even like Rory and Baz, or the I loved those. Like, seeing your regular, and I feel like most of the community loved those. They loved seeing a regular Joe Schmo hit the workout, and then doing more than just the top 2 in the world, I think is extremely important if they're trying to push CrossFit to the masses. You cannot keep showing just Tia all the time. That's not even a realistic
It's a
viewpoint.
Story this year. Right?
There's going to be plenty of coverage.
Had a baby. It's a story that possibly gets eyeballs on what's going to happen. And you know doggone well it's mom versus mom. Like, they've already got the banners made up. Who's the fittest mom? It's going to be all that stuff with Arielle and her. That's the storyline they're going to go with.
Cool. Get a regular mom.
Okay.
Like, I mean, if that's what you're trying to push, that even moms can do this, cool. Get one of the moms from somewhere in Nashville to show up and do it as well.
I'm not against that. I'm not against having, like, when we had Boz on here, the one thing I said to him is, I miss Roe versus Boz. Mm-hmm. It gave Joe Average an idea of what to expect. When I see Tia do a workout, that's not even realistic for me. Right? Roe versus Boz probably isn't realistic for me either, but at least it's in my sight that I can understand it.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think, and it doesn't have to be Roe and Boz, 2 people that but have some name recognition in the space, I think is important.
Sure. I'm not saying they shouldn't have a representative from the elites. I just don't think every week needs to include only your top 5 in the world. Like,
And
there's
maybe
more
they
people
are going
in
to have
this
other
space.
people do it, and we just don't know yet. They're not announcing that aspect. A lot of what's been out there was leaked. Like the locations of these things were dug up by the barbell spin,
Yeah.
not by a release from CrossFit. So it'll be interesting to see what else they put on with it, because I do think you have to have Castro versus Dawn. That would be freaking awesome.
That would be funny.
Like that would get eyeballs. But something like that, right?
Yeah.
Rich versus the world.
I mean, and Taylor's doing, like, and Ken says, why can't they just do their own thing, like Taylor versus the world? Well, that only gets shared so far. Like, who's promoting that? Who's putting that content out there? I mean, we're trying to show a different viewpoint, and it's not getting thousands of views. So
We've only done 2 episodes. We're just getting
okay.
started. Patience.
I mean, usually that stuff, like if it's gonna take off or not.
Yeah. I think we're going to expand that too. I think we're going to try some different things through the open, hopefully, which I want to talk to you about after we're done tonight.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to do that. Something through the open to show some different age group stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe we work with the pit to get a teen to go head to head with you, something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So, I think the area we're missing really big is you don't get to see the adaptive scaled version.
Right.
I think that is one part that we have never seen, and I would love to see what's going on with that.
Ken, we will get there. That's at the bottom of the list. Hold. I would like to see the numbers on Froning's when Mayhem. I know they did it last year, 2 years ago. And they would always bring in a foundations athlete, a scaled athlete, a regular athlete, and the elite. So it's like a regular RX athlete and then one of the elites. And I think Victor Campos was in one of the weeks. That Charlie Curran was in one of the weeks. And that was great. I would actually like to see the numbers on that compared to maybe some of their other stuff. That would be, I feel like if they could delve into that and share that with CrossFit and be like, this was getting so many hits. Like people wanted to see these other levels.
Mayhem they don't need CrossFit to get hits.
I know, but if that gets more than like shoot, I would be curious if it gets more than the open announcement views. Like, is it on par with the open announcement views? Like, that's like, hey, your open announcement views are only going to get so far. If you could include something like this, you would get even more. Or does it get more than like their regular Mayhem Monday? Or like how much bigger is it? Or is it not a hit? Is it less than Mayhem Monday normal episode? I don't know. That's what I'd be curious on the metrics there.
Yeah, theirs is more of a tips and tricks.
Yes. Sort of. I mean, yeah, that's how they open the video. They talk about tips. Then they show the whole workout with those 4 athletes going. And then I think they finish up with like mobility or whatever to go into it. So Kelly Starrett or someone would come on and give you some extra.
Yeah, Patrick, you're probably right. CrossFit didn't communicate that they weren't a part of the open. And again, a lot of what we know has been leaked. Maybe there are plans that we just don't know yet, but
No.
I'm just giving benefit.
How are they not a part of the Open? They've told those people that they specifically are a part of the Open. They don't get their own thing. They don't. Like, they've told them, you need to follow the season until this point, and then
they could create their
what?
own. He's saying they could create their own Open announcements and do something with their demographic.
I mean, you need
announcement. CrossFit's the only one with the announcement. You'd have to just yeah. So that's where they're at a big disadvantage, is the announcement is made, but they don't control that.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Well, since we're talking about Open announcements, the clue for 24.1.
Oh, you're jumping all the way to that.
Yeah, because we're talking about the Open. I'm just trying to.
Well, what about you? Have Justin leaks a movement?
Well, I was going to get to that after the mushroom.
Okay, all right.
You're
going to show the clue?
Show the clue. Sure. Let me pull it up. Okay. So here is the big clue for 24.1. I'm sure we all know what the workout is now.
Ooh.
It's going to be something that gives you foot fungus.
Okay, interesting take. So those of you just listening, it's a mushroom if you haven't seen it.
And it's not a real mushroom, right? There are no real mushrooms that are that red.
Apparently it's a real mushroom. What do you mean?
Okay.
It's like I don't know. Someone put what it is, a fly agaric or something like that. The actual genus name of it or whatever. I feel like this moves us into separate talking. So Dave has said that there's going to be no tape needed for the Open. Did you watch the affiliate town hall today?
I did not.
Okay. So great. They've already said there wouldn't really be floor plans per se, just like don't be dumb and set up the equipment. So we kind of knew that, but like no tape needed at all. Right out the bat, there's not going to be shuttles. There's not going to be handstand walk. There's not going to be wall walks. There's not going to be handstand push-ups unless there's some kind of weird something else that they do there, I suppose. But if you are not putting tape on the ground and having any specific start, end, finish point, hand placement, there's a few things that are basically off the table for the Open, which some people will be fairly happy about, I'm sure. I think a lot of people wanted no more shuttles. So we know that. We know that Home Depot will hate that.
Home Depot is rioting. Their sale of masking tape in different colors.
Yeah.
Going down this year.
So Dave's also stated in other podcasts that the Open was going to be for one, it would be unique, this first event, but that the Open would be more about intensity than necessarily the skill work. So there wouldn't be unique in the movement being high skill program is how I took that. And maybe I'm completely wrong on that, but I think it's going to be just basic movements that you have to decide to hurt on to get the best score in the world. when Ronica saw this, she said organic. So she thinks it's going to be something organic. Oh, you're going to read Blacksmith's clue, Chandler? I always love his.
Chandler Smith came in with, as we all know, Dave Castro is the very definition of a fun guy. Selecting a mushroom is par for the course for such a person. But examining the genus picture delivers us all the relevant details for ascertaining 24.1. The fly agaric is native to North America and is perhaps best known from its appearances in the Super Mario series. While at first glance we'd think that the linkages end here, we must go one level deeper to arrive at the final answer. Mario is, of course, the flagship character of Nintendo. Here's where it gets interesting. Colors of the fly agaric, Nintendo, Japan, all red and white. This clearly points us to the fact that the workout will be a marriage between two complementary movements. The company and the character's status as icon reflect the iconic status of our two favorite CrossFit movements, the clean and the thruster. After counting the 8 letters in red and white, we can obviously see that 24.1 will be 8 minutes of clusters.
It's quite the take, huh?
It is.
I love his clues, his little rants about the clues. Honestly, not a bad pick. I could see it going somewhere in that direction. And again, how bad do you want to hurt? And how long do you want to hold on to that thing for? How fast are you going to move it? I think 24.1 is going to be pretty basic. I do think with the uniqueness, I do think he's going to try to go somewhere in the realm of like time frame or setup that we haven't seen, as in like a death by sequence of some sort. I still think it could be something like Kelsu with the EMOM format where you're just trying to get all those thrusters done and you have to like, are you able to do the 5 burpees and get any, or are you doing just surviving and doing the 5 burpees? How long is it going to take you to get through the thrusters? But I also could see it being just like super basic, like row kales and burpee over the rower, and like literally no standards. Kind of like Rich did one year. Like he was like, just get over the rower. I don't care how you get over the rower. We're not judging that. Just get over the rower. And so sure, you can step over the rower and it is super inclusive. You aren't going to win that way. I guarantee it. So the people who want to win are going to have to hurt and are going to have to jump them all. But it makes it where we're not judging the in between of the movement. Like get down, get over, you choose how fast you want to go. And it almost takes like the need for a scaled out of the workout, which I think kind of is usually the case of a 0.1.
So my thought was the repeat of, I think it's 14.4, the deadlift box jump.
14.3.
14.3.
Hailey and I just did it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. With the descending reps of the deadlift and the ascending weight. So as you go up the mushroom, it shrinks, right? So less reps, but it gets heavier. And then back then, the standard for the box jump was get on top of the box, get off the box.
Anyhow.
However you wish. Right?
Yep.
So step ups, hop ups, whatever you wanted to do, you could do.
Yep.
It was one of my favorite open workouts ever. And so maybe I'm just being more hopeful than anything. That's the event where I beat Bob Harper from The Biggest Loser by 1 rep.
Nice.
And that made my day.
Yeah.
Made my lifetime. How about that? And I'd never pulled whatever it was I got to, 325. I was still kind of at the beginning of my CrossFit comeback, and my back was, and so I'd never pulled that much before, and I did it for like 12 reps or something.
Nice.
So, yeah, it was I think something like that. The other one, my first ever open workout was the burpees and snatches, where the snatches started light with a higher rep and got heavier with lower reps. And the burpees went down in number to get there, but it's burpee to a target. Pretty standard. Jump up, hit the pole, and then do your snatches. No tape needed for that. Although the snatch is not a low barrier movement, even at a lightweight.
Yeah. I could totally see box jumps of some sort, or step up or get up, however you want. When you look at this, you think Mario or Toad or getting banging the thing and getting the mushroom out. So I can totally see box jumps being in week 1. And box jumps get your heart rate up the same, like similar fashion of shuttles. So I could totally see box jumps. I just don't know what to be paired with.
Well, that's probably more time than I wanted to spend on Castro's clue, because we're all going to be wrong anyway.
Sometimes we're pretty close.
All right.
I usually do a thing at my gym where I post on our team page, and like they win, I don't know, a can of Fit 8 or something. And I feel like I'm like very, very close every year. My guess is I usually have like the 2 movements or something. So I always have to give it to like second place because I usually win. So
Justin leaks a movement.
Did you watch that whole interview? No, I don't think he did.
But I have heard people who did watch the whole thing said he was guessing the whole time at different movements. So taken out of context, it appeared that he was leaking a movement, but if he wouldn't have said we had to cut this out real quick, I think there would be no question. But because he said that and then they cut it, now there's questions.
Now, maybe they do know something, because there's there's no tape line. There's been a lot of discussion that we probably will still see lunges, but they'll be in the just reverse step lunge fashion, right? And so maybe they did know something. Maybe he had heard lunges, and that's why he assumed no chance they're doing it in the shred shed, because maybe he already knows there's not really enough space for multiple people to do a lunging workout. But then when he was told and it was in the shred shed, he was like, guess we're not doing lunges, but maybe they are. So it'll be very interesting to see if we have in-place lunges in week 2. Yeah, I totally agree. It could be a number of steps where we're not marking anything off. Could be 8 in place. Yes, I totally agree. I actually think we may still see lunging.
I don't disagree. I think I brought it up on one of the shows in the last couple of weeks that why couldn't you just do an in-place lunge? They suck just as bad as walking.
I think they're worse. They take longer.
So,
yeah.
I don't know if there's a movement that wrecks me as quickly as lunges. I can squat all day, man. You go to lunge, and I am just done.
I would prefer to lunge.
So, another new team announced this week.
Yeah.
Invictus is putting together Chandler, Joshua L. Chama, Devyn Kim, and Lauren Fisher.
Yeah. So,
what are your thoughts?
Man, I feel like, you got your 2 returners from last year's winning team, and we all know Chandler's no slouch, and I've been excited with what I've seen from Lauren Fisher over this last year. But I think Noah's team with Tola got the edge.
Yeah, I don't know. Chandler's so strong. Chandler can go toe to toe.
So is Tola.
I know. Chandler can go toe to toe with Tola.
Yeah.
I don't think they have the male gymnastic engine equivalent of Noah.
Right.
Because say what you will about Noah, like that dude is fit.
I think he's got a renewed purpose and with this going team, and he's going 100% to win it. And yeah, I think we're going to see that play out.
Patrick Clark says Devyn Kim is the best woman of the two teams. I think he may have a vested interest in that, so we'll take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
I think Devyn Kim is super fit. She's been on a team. She knows how to play the team game. I think she's a great addition to the team. But Mathilde Garnes is a 2-time games athlete as an individual. And Lena Richter has been with team forever and done really well. Andrew Sten with I'm Not Sold on Tola. He's been on a few teams now, and they've really not done as well as expected. I don't think you can blame that on Tola.
I don't either. That's unfair.
It's been people around him that have, and one of those was Lauren Fisher, who was going into the 21, 22 games. I mean, she just was hurt. But if any, Lauren Fisher looks so good this offseason.
She does.
So that gives me a little bit of pause. She looks so good at Rogue on the first couple days till rain kind of messed up a lot of stuff. It would have been interesting to see how that went in like a dry field. So, but anyway, it's going to be interesting. Maybe there is some interest in the team now that we have all these kind of super teams coming together to kind of see how it all lands. The spin pole.
Yeah.
New
there was
pull out.
New spin poll came out. I want to say only like 18 or 19 of us voted this cycle, and I think it's very reflective. And some of the men changed, but you can see the middle there, and the women just didn't change at all. I feel like people just resubmitted the people that voted just sent their ballot back in, and maybe with like a couple changes here on the men's side, and didn't look much into the women's side.
So I did get my vote in.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It didn't show you in the list.
It didn't?
No. So in his post on IG. Say that?
It accepted it when I put it in.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah. If you look at the post on IG, it says these are the people who participated. And Patrick Clark missed. Yeah, I mean, I saw so many missing names that I immediately was like, oh, this is like kind of not a great representation. And then you saw I did see Will Bransetter's comment about whoever picked Lawson needs to be kicked out of the poll. I will say I did not pick Lawson to win, though. He's got a point. If you aren't picking Tia to win,
why is that a point?
Because I feel like Tia's. I don't think. We will see. We will see when Tia does the live announcement how she's looking.
I call bullshit.
You
then
think
Jeff Adler should be number one on the men's side.
I did pick Jeff Adler
or
as number
champion.
one. I picked Jeff Adler as number one.
I'm just saying, you can't go on the women's side and say you have to pick Tia. It's 2 years after the fact. Life has changed. People have gotten better. Things can happen. She didn't win Rogue.
Yeah, that was so soon after. And she barely lost. I don't think there's a chance that anyone can catch her, but we'll see.
So I'll tell you who
Maybe
I
things
voted
have
Emma
changed.
Watson. I voted
Okay.
Emma Watson to win. I've said it on the show that my biggest call for the year is Emma Lawson's going to shock the world and beat both Laura and Tia at the games.
You have said that.
I have said that. But she keeps getting better. She's 19 years old. Like her PRs are still in the jumping phase.
I think Tia is Matt in that without, like, only Tia can beat Tia. Tia needs to leave the race for someone else to win. Like,
Rogue didn't test everything. Rogue, there are a lot, like when it came to like grip on a barbell, or not a barbell, like on a rig, she didn't do well. She struggled in different aspects. And with a complete event that wasn't rained out and changed, I don't, it's still been a couple years.
I don't know. I guess we'll see in the open announcement how fit she looks. I think she's.
But to use the logic that she has to be your number one pick or you should be kicked out of the poll. Well, in the men's side, we're throwing Roman Krinikov, who can't even finish an event. We're throwing Ricky Garrard up there, who's been hurt several times.
Yeah.
Like, they should be kicked out of the poll, in my view. Jeff Fadler won the damn games last year. He gets no respect. So
it looks closer on the men's side, at least. Yes, Frazier could have taken a year off and come back just as dominant. There's just no, like, that dude was unbeatable.
You say that, but when you take a year off, things change. Priorities change. It's harder to get back into that grind.
Not for someone like Matt or Tia.
I disagree.
I would like to be surprised. I think Tia and Matt didn't do really anything for the sport, and it's why I don't want to keep leaning on pushing her for the storyline. Like, I don't think we need to.
So let's move on, because I agree they didn't do it. They haven't done much for the sport,
right?
And I'm glad that I thought last year's games were the best because you didn't know who was going to win, and it made it so much better.
Right.
Who did you have number one on the men's side?
Jeff.
Who'd you have number one on the women's side?
Tia.
Okay. I had Jeff and Emma. One thing that is kind of been bumping me lately is I think Saxon Panchek's in for a comeback year, so I moved him into my top 10.
Nice.
That's kind of like the one big surprise. I have Medeiros up higher than Krinikov because I think Medeiros is going to have a bounce back year from last year. On the
Where'd you put Krinikov? Fourth?
I had Krinikov like fifth.
Okay. I could see that.
His erratic behavior this offseason just has me not confident in what's going on.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
And then on the women's side, I keep bumping Arielle back up.
Do you?
Yeah, like I have her at fourth right now.
Okay.
Ahead of Alex. There's
the
more I see her and knowing Arielle, like there's some confidence there that she's never had. And I'm excited to see how she competes with confidence for the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that. She's really coming into her own. I think she's got her setup going. She's in her happy place. She's grooving.
Yeah. So on my list, I've bumped her up to 4th ahead of Alex. I think there's a lot of pressure on Alex, and I just don't know.
Too.
I don't know how she's going to deal with it. And then, and I bumped Emma Carey up a bit, but I don't know. I just don't know where to like land her.
Yeah, she's such a wild card for me.
When you get into like pain cave stuff, that girl's insane. But she started the games off just on a bad foot last year and had to kind of come back from that and had a top 10 finish. So maybe that was a great learning experience for her.
Yeah. And they probably won't have an outdoor event like that. Like, I don't think they're going to have a bike ride again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anyway, I wish
people would have
go
put more thought into it, because they clearly, I mean, you've got Annie still in there being pregnant. You've got Jamie Simmons still in there. Like, I slid those people out. Sometimes I feel like maybe it doesn't read when I type people in, because it doesn't move it in. I wish this was like a little more interactive. Like, I could, like, it's interactive on the right. You can slide up and down. But if I type somebody in, I want them to pop up so I can put them where I want them. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So there's where I feel like it doesn't go through for me.
Yeah. So I was late because I was in the hospital and I had bigger fish to fry. But what I did is everybody who announced team, I just like swiped all the way to the bottom. Right. Got them out of the list completely. So I did put a lot of thought into this, and then it didn't count. I put it in like on the 15th, a day late.
Yeah, I almost feel like that should have counted, but maybe he had already pulled the scores in. So hopefully next month, like, we'll have gone through the open, and hopefully everyone gets theirs in on time, and we get some like more thought out responses. You could tell this was kind of I'm just submitting and moving on.
Yeah.
So I thought that's what.
Before we get to the heat one, our girl, Kelly Baker, friend of the show, we followed her all last season, through the ups and downs of everything, has announced, and I actually have her Instagram up, so let me share that real quick, that she is not competing in the 2024 season. And she did it in this post right here. After many prayers and conversations with my people, I've decided I'm going to sit this one out. Emotionally, this was not an easy choice, but at the same time, I'm very at peace with my decision. And this quote tells you everything you need to know about Kelly Baker. Just because you are good at something does not mean you have to do it. We interviewed her years ago. She was one of the first 30 people we interviewed. And she told us then, like, she was getting better at CrossFit, but I want to run a marathon. I want to see if I can do it. So she would do it. And then she would do, I want to do this. I think she has so many wants and things that she wants to accomplish in her life that CrossFit is just one little small component of that. And she is fine moving on to try to have a family. And that the doctors have told her the stress of a game season would not help her with having a family. So they made the decision to sit this one out, to have a better shot at conceiving a child and starting a family. And with that, I sent her a text this afternoon, wishing her well, telling her I will miss her, but I cannot be mad at her for wanting to start a family.
No.
It's the coolest thing in the world, and I'm sending all my love. And she texted back that big thanks, and she'll miss everybody too, but you got to do what you got to do. You
have to. I mean, it's good to hear that she's at peace with it. And you're right. Like, she's smart enough to know that CrossFit is a blip of her life. And if starting a family is important to her, she needs to run with that, and she needs to put her efforts there. I'm excited for them.
Yeah. So the final thing, and then we'll get out of here for tonight, is Heat 1 has come up. Not only can you play on the app, they have some new open games that basically you just go in, you pick announcement winners. Then they have this bracket that you can play tier by tier on the app, but you can't play the whole bracket unless you print it out and actually write it all in. So the barbell spin guys had did this live on their show last night. I want to beat them.
Okay.
So we're going to do it real quick here. And I'm going to get Jamie and I's picks, and I will write them down because I have a couple.
We're probably going to be the same. We might have one thing different.
Well, the thing about the open is, like, the people you think are going to win don't always win.
I kind of hate this and that. Like, you're just basically making a pick because the open, it is very workout dependent for these people. So, like, if we knew what the movements were, we'd have a much better educated guess. Scott showing off that he has a color printer. Very elitist of you, Scott.
Yeah. It's from an old business way back in the day. And thank God they're still inking it. All right. So bracket 1 is Jeffrey Adler and Jay Crouch.
Man, gosh, I've really liked what I've seen out of Jay Crouch. I just, as much as Jeff says he's like never peaking too early, I feel like he's always in shape, like super in shape already at this time. So I'm going to go with Jeff.
All right. I did the same. I'm always in Adler's corner. I've been shoved in that corner, and I'm staying there till he lets me down. All right. Krennikov, Fikowski.
I think I'm going to pick Fikowski.
Wow.
I just would like to see him win. So that's where I'm going to go. I'm hoping it's something chippery that Brent can take his mental gymnastics and win it.
Open. So I can't. So I'm going with Roman.
Okay.
Ricky Garrard, Dallin Pepper.
I'm going to go with Ricky.
Yeah, for an open type, I got to go Ricky as much as I want to go Dallin.
Yeah.
Final bracket, Vellner, Yonakoski.
Vellner.
All right.
My dude.
I'm going Koski.
Ooh.
Better on the open. So then we get to the other. Let's finish this side of the bracket. So Adler, the second round, Adler and Fikowski. I'm between Adler and Roman and Adler. Ricky and Vellner.
Dang. I'm going to go with Ricky. I think Ricky might be better suited for the open.
And then Ricky and Adler.
I'm going to go with Jeff.
All right. I am going to go Ricky over Koski and Ricky to win.
Okay.
Over Adler.
Okay.
So then on the female side, I wish this would have print landscape. I guess I wanted to do that. Horvat, Carey.
Man, that is such a tough one because, and is this for 0.1?
Yep. Yes.
I think I'm going to go with Carey because I think it's going to be so basic that it's about how bad you want to hurt, and she will go black. She'll go dark.
Same. Emma Lawson and Gabby McGowan.
I'm going to take Emma.
Same. Emma. The Emma bracket.
Yeah.
Then we have Gazan and Arielle.
Okay, I'll take Gazan because I'm betting you're going to take Arielle.
I am.
Okay, I'll take Gazan so we have something.
Then we have Tia and Raptus.
I'm going to take Tia.
I'm going to take Raptus.
All right, look at you.
All right, so Carrie Lawson.
Oh man, I think I want to go with Lawson. I'm hoping maybe there's some more skill in two that gives it Lawson the edge.
All right, I'll go Carrie. You have Gazan, Tia.
Tia.
I have Arielle and Raptus. I am going Arielle.
Okay.
And then you have Lawson, Tia.
I'm gonna go with Tia.
Tia to win, boring.
I know.
And I have Carrie and Arielle.
Emma, right? Who you picking?
Emma Carey and Arielle Lowen.
Yeah.
Took Arielle.
Oh, wow.
Didn't Arielle finish like third in the Open last year?
I think she did really good. And she, yeah.
Yeah, there's facts up here. I'm not just throwing shit out.
Yeah. She's
Emma
she's
Carey
good
is
at
the best open pain cave person. I'm taking her as far. And then Arielle, when that last week of skill set, I think she finally gets her. And again, Arielle was top 5 in the Open last year for sure. I think it was third. So that's why I'm taking her. So cool. So we will check this out. We'll see how they score barbell spin wise so we can compare and see if we can beat John Young, Brian Spin, and Tyler Watkins.
Beat the boys.
So anything else on the docket for you, ma'am?
I think that was it. I think we covered it all.
Yeah. So hey, if you have not caught the verses for the ages, make sure you go check that out. It is Hailey Rolfe, who joined us at the beginning of the show, teen athlete, 3-time games competitor, against Jamie Latimer, masters athlete, against Jim Pieper, grandmasters athlete in the 65 plus. And we're only 2 weeks in. We're still tweaking. We're still modifying, and we're going to keep making it better and better every time.
Thanks, Patrick.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Patrick. With that, I'm trying to, now that I'm feeling better, and I hope you all can tell, my voice is actually coming back. I'm not coughing as much. I'm not doing those types of things. I'm hoping to get some stuff rescheduled and some interviews back on the docket. And then we'll know more answers tomorrow as to when like the full fix happens with my heart and what goes on there. So I think that's it. We're going to try to do some stuff for the Open. Jamie and I will talk after the show. I'll talk with the other crew from the roundtable, see what we can put together for Open announcements and maybe some fun stuff there. Again, we're going to be at the Arnold. I'm not sure it's going to be now, but the crew will be at the Arnold for sure. Getting some interviews. They may be tape delayed as opposed to live just to make it easier, and I can edit those at home. But we'll see how I feel next week. If I feel better, I'll definitely be there. But we will be at the Thick Boy tent or Thick Boy booth. Apparel, check them out. Doing live interviews if I'm there, and I know Jamie's there Saturday for sure. Charlie, he would take the camera Friday and get some stuff down there as well.
Veronica's going to come with me. So, and Veronica may try to grab some of the like fighters that are there. I think there's some kickboxing, and she came from that world. So if we can catch some of those interviews, I think that'd be great.
Yeah, we want, and what we're going to do is CrossFit kind of got canceled at the Arnold this year. So we're going to reach out to all the other sports and get some stuff about what's going on in those. So a little bit different, but we're going to get some fun action from the Arnold and a prime location at the Thick Boy apparel tent booth.
Yes, it's just 2 C's.
Yeah, just 2 C's. So who is Sam?
Bruce, I'm so glad you were able to catch a live. I don't know if you caught my post the other week. We had a gentleman drop in and work out with Jim and I, and it was Bruce. And he says he likes these shows, but he's rarely on a live. And he's been in here.
Patrick said they're having tag at the Arnold.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
I know last year the big one was slap fighting.
Not want to watch any of that.
So yeah, so fun stuff.
I'll watch tag.
With that, we'll let you guys all go. Have a great night. Thank you for tuning in. We love you guys. You and the audience are so awesome. With that, we will catch everybody next week sometime, but probably for sure for the open announcement and maybe right into Thursday Night CrossFit Talk. Who knows? Yes, Kenneth, we are the original Thursday Night CrossFit Talk show. With that, we'll catch everybody later. Bye, guys.